First of all, I want to thank everyone for being here today. As my mom said, your attendance means more than you can imagine to our family. So thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time to honor Grandpa. So these last few days, as you can imagine, have been harder than even I could imagine. As Shara, Marty, Kelly, Stacy, Lacey, and I started gathering the photos in the slideshow that you all watched, I realized and found a hidden gem within the many photos. I found out the extent at which Grandpa touched each and everyone's lives individually and in such a personal way. You see, grandparents have special powers. As I looked upon the 40 plus years of memories we all have because of not just Grandpa, but Grandma too, I've come to realize what a hero we all had in our lives. My earliest memories of my grandpa are from the many hours I'd sit with him in his recliner and we'd watch wrestling, as he'd call it. But aside from the literally thousands of moments and memories in my mind because of him, I've learned that he had this gift of giving this to literally all of us. I know I'm not the only one who would tell us, if you asked him today that, I'm his favorite grandchild, or I was his best friend, or that he didn't only ever show one focus when you were with him. When you were with him, he was with you. Another one of his superpowers was that he did this for all of us. It's pretty remarkable, What a lucky and blessed bunch we've been over the years. 96 years of life. 96 people. That's incredible. 70 years as a husband, 66 years as a father, 42 years as grandpa. And let me tell you, Grandpa lived it. He lived it all by living in us and being huge parts of all of our lives. I was reflecting on my 40 years of being his grandson. Many of those memories happened right here in this church. I remember him as an usher. He would stand right back by the sound booth by that door over there. And I remember the potluck meals after service over in the gymnasium out these doors. And I remember the countless hours we spent in the foyer right outside here, waiting for him and Grandma to finish talking with the numerous church members right out here in the foyer after services. I'll remember him for his jolly laugh. And I think he loved to make people laugh and see them smile. Does anyone remember the Come See the Baby Rattler Does anybody here remember that for the church? It was at the Fall Festival craft show. The man was clever. The man was funny. And he even taught me how to scare someone while they are sitting right in front of you. And a talent, I'm sure, to instill into our daughter Avery. What I can't think of, though, is a time when Grandpa wasn't there. Well, there was maybe just one time. That was a school graduation, but that's because he didn't fly. And I forgave him for that. I never held it against him. That's okay. The truth is, that was his way of living life to the fullest, being there, being present. He was there for all of us, and he was always there. Something that I didn't realize about my grandpa until my Uncle Raymond pointed it out to me not too terribly long ago, was another simple rule of life that no one really tells you about. It's the simple rule of not complaining. And it goes hand in hand with the ladder. Grandpa did not complain. Grandpa not once told me he didn't have time. And Grandpa, so how do I remember my grandpa? Do I remember that he was always there? Do I remember that he never complained? Do I remember him for his amazing bear hugs? Do I remember him for never shaking my hand while he was sitting down? Grandpa, how about I remember you? Just for being the absolute best grandpa a kid could have ever asked for. You were the grandpa that literally taught me almost everything that I know about how to do with my hands. You taught me how things work. You taught me how to put things together. The grandpa who taught me how to fish and how to love fishing. You were the grandpa that never said no. The grandpa who was never too tired or tied up, and the man who showed me how to love my wife. Marty made a good point the other night as we were putting together the slideshow. We just saw. He mentioned the passing of Queen Victoria, and it stuck with me, For many of the time back in those days, she was the only queen England ever knew their entire life. And Grandpa's been that for us. He's all that we've known, and I'm not naive to think this day would never come. But it's one that I never wanted to face. And it's one that I couldn't imagine would ever come. As I wrap this up, I want to end on just telling you all how much this man meant to me. Losing him is tough. But Grandpa taught me how to be tough And he showed me how to be grateful. And I'm grateful, and I'm proud to have been his grandson. Thank you.